It is now or never, and it's our last chance to try and make a playoff push as we check out the Week 14 action. And we're going to help you out in this week's Sunday Morning Quickie. Welcome on into another edition of Wingman Fantasy Football, the League Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Furley, and I'd like to thank all of you who are watching this fine morning, and I want to wish you all good luck on your playoff push. And if you'd allow me, I'd like to help you set your fantasy football lineups. All right, guys, it is Sunday, December 6th. This is episode 208, and it's time for a Week 14 Sunday Morning Quickie. In this show, we'll see who's in and who's out for Week 14. We'll review our show's starts of the week, let you in on the players to watch in our Wingman Jam contest, and let you know the very best way to get the most updated news to help you set your fantasy football lineups. But before we do any of that, I'd like to make sure that everybody is in the room.
Wingmen assemble!
All right, now that everyone is here, let's see who's in, who's out, who's hurt, and who's not in this week's Actives Inactives. All right, friendly reminder, we have 4 NFL teams on bye this week, so we will be without the Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots, New York Giants, and San Francisco 49ers. So our managers without Christian McCaffrey today are going to have an uphill battle as they fight for the playoff spots. All right, now for the players who are on the IR and are getting close to returning, and some not at all. Starting off with Kyler Murray. Apparently, he's on IR with a foot injury. He could be reactivated anytime in the next week or so, but it sounds like that is not going to happen, as all reports are he is done for the year or not going to return for the year. I think this has to do with a clash of egos and or direction of the team. Kyler Murray is not going to play for the rest of the season. Greg Dortch, wide receiver for the Cardinals, was placed on the IR going into Week 14. So for all intensive purposes, he is out for the rest of the season. Opens up just another opening here for Michael Wilson to have a potentially monster day. Garrett Wilson, New York Jets wide receiver, still has one more game that he has to miss before he's eligible to return. If you held on, you might get him back for your fantasy playoffs, but there's been really no updates on him since he's gone to the IR here. All right, guys that are getting much closer to returning. Mike Evans had his 21-day practice window opened. He did get on the practice field this week. However, he is not quite ready to be activated. He is going to be on the sideline once again this week. And this one kind of surprised me staying in Tampa Bay. Jalen McMillan, he had that neck injury, and I wasn't sure he was going to get back on the field at all this year. However, he too has had his 21-day practice window open, but he is not going to get back on the field this week. All right, Trey Benson, Arizona wide receiver, has 0 games that he's has to miss. His 21-day practice window was opened about 16, 17 days ago. He is not going to be activated for Week 14. He has until Tuesday or Wednesday to be activated to the roster, or his season is done. That's just the rules. Once they open that 21-day practice window, if they don't activate you by the end of that window, your season is done. Marshawn Lloyd, running back for the Green Bay Packers, returned to practice this week as he was designated to return. He had his 21-day practice window open. However, he is not ready to get back onto the field in terms of game time. He is not going to be back today. And finally, we have some better news. Jayden Reed, who's been on the IR since week 2 or 3, got his practice window open a couple weeks ago, and guess what? He has been activated. He is technically listed as questionable, and we'll get more into whether or not he's actually going to be on the field today or not as we break down those players with that designation. And Omarion, Hampton, LA Charger running back, has returned to practice as well. They play Monday night, so technically he has not been activated from the IR yet, as they have another day and a half to make such a move here. Although all reports are that he's gonna play on Monday night, and he will be activated. However, he's not activated quite yet. All right, now for players that are listed as out today, we have Drake London once again going to be out for those Atlanta Falcons with that knee injury. He will be out today. Justin Fields, New York Jets backup quarterback, is dealing with knee soreness. He is out today, and they're going to be bringing a kind of a no-name rookie kind of player as their backup quarterback. So it's Tyrod Taylor all day today. Alvin Kamara, New Orleans running back, is out once again today. Odunze is dealing with a stress fracture in his foot, listed as week to week. He is not going to play today. Emari Demarcado is going to miss his second consecutive game, I think. But nonetheless, he's out once again in week 14, dealing with an ankle injury. And Marvin Harrison Jr., who left last week with a heel injury, is not going to play today. So we have Greg Dortch placed on the IR, Marvin Harrison out, and their kind of a no-name receiver, Weaver, is listed as questionable, and he's not likely to play today either. So it is really Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, and whatever practice squad guys they can get on the field today. And Michael Mayer missed last week as well. Las Vegas tight end is going to be out once again with an ankle injury. All right, now for some guys who aren't technically out yet and have a mixed bag of designations here. So let's break these guys down. We've got Joshua Palmer, Buffalo wide receiver, listed as doubtful with a knee and ankle injury. He is not going to play today. Dylan Sampson, Cleveland running back, is dealing with a calf injury, missed most of the week with practice, got a limited practice on Friday or Saturday. He may play, but at least right now I'm going to put him as unlikely to play, as he only had one limited practice at the end of the week. Again, there's not much reports on him since he's not a big-time player, so he's not hitting the big-time news feeds here. So he may play, but I'm going to call this unlikely at this time with a calf injury. Parkr Washington, Jacksonville wide receiver, is not going to play today. He's listed as questionable technically at the moment, but he is not going to get on the field. Noah Brown, Washington wide receiver. He's been on the IR, had his practice day, 21-day practice window open. He has been activated. He's not a huge player here, but another Washington receiver. They're going to be pretty much at full strength. We'll get more into that a little bit later. But Noah Brown is expected to play today, coming off that groin and knee injury. We have Chris Olave right now. He's dealing with that back injury. It's spasm, so it kind of comes and goes. Right now, he is expected to play. The wording is he will play today. This one is interesting and a little dicey, as we would love to get this guy in our lineup. Dalton Kincaid, who's missed tons of time this week. He should play, and actually, the way they're wording this, he plans to try to play. I don't like that combination of words. He's dealing with a hamstring and knee injury. He's going to try to give it a go. He is banged up, but this is the best matchup this week. They're playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I would love to put him in a lineup, but with this ambiguity here, with his injury here, it's just too unsafe. I'd almost rather know if he was out all the way, because then you could maybe play Knox. If you're not sure here, guys, double check wingmanfantasyfootball.com. The inactive reports will be on there, posted 90 minutes prior to kickoff for any of these guys who are kind of game time decisions to get that last minute news here. Again, even if he is active, I don't like the wording around his injury here, and I don't know how full go he'll be. But man, this is if you have the chutzpah to put him in your lineup, you may be rewarded or you may get a goose. Matthew Golden, rookie Green Bay wide receiver, has been missing time with a wrist injury. Listed as questionable, and I guess he's made it where he's not on the news here, guys. So I'm unsure if he's going to play or not, because even the last couple weeks I thought he would, and he ended up not playing. So we're just going to put him as unsure. You're not going to play him anyway. Even when he's on the field, he's not doing anything here. I just want to let you know that. Jayden Reed, we mentioned it, listed as questionable. That clavicle injury was activated off the IR. Jayden Reed will play today, making another indication here that Matthew Golden may not, as they don't need all 5 of their receivers, and they're getting one back. We mentioned it in the IR spot. Omarion Hampton, like I said, right now he's listed as questionable, not technically activated here, but he is expected to play on Monday night. So just keep that in mind. So Omarion Hampton should be back on the field. And Justin Herbert, this is big here. Coming off that hand injury, had surgery on his broken left hand. At the moment, he's listed as questionable, and the phrasing around this right now is that there's optimism he will play. So this is a risky move here, guys. If you have him on your roster, it's just you're going to have to deal with it. If you want to wait for Herbert, there's a chance you might not have a quarterback at all to play. And being that Jalen Hurts is going to be drafted here and not going to be on people's teams, there's not going to be any other options. Maybe pick up Trey Lance if you're willing to hold on to Justin Herbert to at least know you have a Chargers quarterback. Otherwise, it's up to you. It's your call here, but you may have to play a lesser quarterback on Sunday to ensure you have a starting player. All right, now for players that had injury designations throughout the week, those designations have been lifted, and all these players are going to play today. Starting off, man, we got a couple young quarterbacks getting back on the field, and I don't know if they should. Jayden Daniels, Washington quarterback. We saw that gruesome dislocated left elbow 3 weeks back. He is cleared. He is going to play. He's going to start. He's going to be on the field. We're all going to hold our breath, make sure he doesn't stiff arm somebody today. But nonetheless, he's back on the field. I want to know in the comments, guys, do you think Commander should put him on the field? It's one of those things, they're football players, if you're healthy, you can play, get out there and play. But he is such a big part of their future, and their present is not looking for a playoff run this year. He's going to be on the field, though, making your Marcus Mariota stashes worth nothing right now anyway. All right, J.J. McCarthy is getting back on the field for Minnesota as he's had an absence last week with a concussion. He will start today. Aaron Jones, this guy keeps getting banged up, but does not miss time for the most part anyway. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. He's going to play today. Woody Marks, who was in and out of the lineup last week with an ankle injury, has no injury designation. He will be good to go today. And T. Higgins, who missed his last game with a concussion, looked like he might miss a second week. And then all of a sudden, poof, full practice, no injury designation. T. Higgins will be on the field today. Kyle Monangai was dealing with an ankle injury throughout the week. He no longer has an injury designation. He is good to go. And Lamar Jackson, who missed practice on Thursday with various lower body and leg ailments, is off the injury report. He is good to go. All right, guys, now for some games out there that have some weather that we just want to go over real quick. These are all the games that are outside today. We have Tennessee at Cleveland. It is going to be cold, guys, 34 degrees, near freezing there, and it's a 68% chance of snow in Cleveland. It's going to be a white Christmas out here. Not white Christmas, white Christmas season in Cleveland, and the winds are a mild 12 miles per hour. So depending on how these teams can handle the cold, the snow, and the mild winds here, this game should be fun to watch in terms of a TV game here, but it is going to be cold and snowy and slick, I guess, as well. Miami at the New York Jets, considering they're playing in the Northeast, this is as good as you can ask for. It's going to be cold at 40 degrees, but there's going to be no rain expected. It should be cloudy with low winds at 5 miles per hour. Our next game, New Orleans at Tampa Bay. It's going to be warm there, guys, especially at this time of year at 78 degrees. I'm in Central Florida myself. Orlando has been muggy and rainy, and it's going to be potentially rainy as well in Tampa. I've seen different reports from different weather sites. One site said likely thunderstorms. One said, 20% chance of rain. So nonetheless, there's chance for heavy rain at some point during this game today, and winds are mild at 9 miles per hour. Now, this one is very interesting as well. Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville. It's going to rain, guys. 98% chance of rain. And like I said, in seasons past, Trevor Lawrence does not handle the slick, wet football at all. I mean, we'll see what happens today, but I would not be surprised if there are a lot of fumbles and or turnovers in this game. Colts might be a sneaky defense, but I don't know how either team is going to react here because I don't necessarily trust Daniel Jones in adverse weather as well. Whatever you think is going to happen, it is going to rain. That's for certain, although the winds will be non-existent at 3 miles per hour. On to our next game here, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Similar to the New York Jets game here, it's going to be cold at 40 degrees, cloudy, overcast, but the winds will be mild, and there's not expected to be any precipitation. 5 miles per hour are the projected winds. Now we've got our games that are going to be cold, 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 cold as ice.
You're as cold as ice.
We've got 3 games with freezing conditions. Cincinnati at Buffalo will be around 29 degrees, and they expect snow today in Buffalo, and winds will be at 9 miles per hour. Chicago at Green Bay, it's going to be freezing cold, 18 degrees, but it's going to be sunny and clear with 5 mile per hour winds. And our Sunday night game, Houston at Kansas City, will also be very cold at 25 degrees. It's going to be overcast, no rain expected, and mild winds at 7 miles per hour. All right, guys, it is now time to take a look at our show's starts of the week.
Bring it in. Take a knee. Who wants in?
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
All right, son, don't let me down. You're in.
Wingman Fantasy Football starts of the week.
All right, guys, it's time to let you in on our starts of the week. I'm going to let you in on my co-host starts of the week this week. Starting off with his quarterback start of the week is Jordan Love, projected at 17.7 points, and that frigid game in Green Bay today. Jordan Love against the Chicago Bears. The Bears give up the third most points to the quarterback position. His running back start of the week is Keenshawn Judkins, another game that's going to be cold and snowy at 12.6 point projection. The Tennessee Titans give up the sixth most points to the running back position. And his receiver start of the week this week is a tight end, Mr. Brenton Strange, in wet conditions in Jacksonville with an 8.2 point projection. And the Indianapolis Colts give up the fourth most points to the tight end position. And these are Bernie's starts of the week for week 14. All right, guys, now it's time for my starts of the week for week 14. My start of the week at quarterback is the rookie Tyler Shuck versus the Tampa Bay Bucks in a game that also should be rainy. I should probably change this. However, Tampa Bay does give up the second most points to the quarterback position, and with a low projection of 15.4 points, he is a potential streaming option. My running back start of the week is Chase Brown, projected at 14.1 points against the Buffalo Bills in snowy conditions, but the Bills give up the third most points to the running back position, and one or two good cuts might get a long run or reception for Chase Brown. And my wide receiver start of the week is a game inside. Cortland Sutton against the Las Vegas Raiders, projected at 10.9 points, and the Raiders give up the eighth most points to the wide receiver position. And those are my week 14 starts of the week. All right, guys, now it's time to get into our final rendition here of our Wingman Jam. This is a one-on-one battle between the winners of Phase 3 and Phase 4. Phase 4 winner was our co-host Bernie, who held it down, and the winner of Phase 3 was an audience member, Andrew. As usually, it's open out to the audience, but again, this one is closed. It is heads up. So let's take a look at this week's Wingman Jam.
Wingman Fantasy Football.
Wingman Jam with Bernie the Bounty Hunter and Amazing Spidey. Boom shakalaka. Baltimore Ravens. Your move, holy man. This one's for all the marbles.
All right, Bernie selecting the Baltimore Ravens this week. And we have not got our selection from our user here, Andrew. So he's got to set a comment here. He's got all of the games today. And if he's late, as long as he puts in a comment before the kickoff of whatever players he's picking, he can go up against here. So right now, get in there, get your chance for your shirt here, Mr. Andrew. You're going against Bernie's and the Baltimore Ravens. Friendly reminder here, guys, we're playing for some swag. We're the winner of this. Let's see, why not play? Let's just show you what these guys are playing for. I have to zoom out so you guys can see our little drop down here. They are playing for some swag. They're playing for the Wingman Jam tee of the Wingman Fantasy Football. We've got two versions. We got the classic with the Wingman Jam logo on the back and the Wingman Fantasy Football logo on the front, or we've got the Creators Edition if you're bold, with the Wingman Jam logo on front and the player card with Bernie and my face as the tandem here on the back. Winner gets to choose. Was it Fortune Favors the Bold? I would go for the Creators Edition, but that's up to you. So you guys are playing for some swag this week, so good luck with that. All right, guys, we're going to end this one here, but I do want to let you guys know there's a way to help you get the most updated news to help you set your fantasy football lineups. Just go to wingmanfantasyfootball.com. On that site, guys, we got aggregated news feeds mixed in with social media feeds from Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Pro Football Talk, Underdog Fantasy, and Around the NFL. And the good thing here, it's Twitter feeds without having to log in, guys. You can just scroll without logging in or being tracked or anything like that. So that's why I use it there. Also, in the middle of that page has the inactive list, and they populate approximately 90 minutes prior to kickoff, and they do populate in alphabetical order. So you will have to scroll around to find the team you're looking for. But the thing I like about it is it gives you all the players that are inactive, not just the high-priced players that most sites will let you know. That way you can make some decisions based on offensive linemen and defensive linemen. For example, this week, we already have out, but they'll show up on the inactive on Monday. We've got Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter are out for the Eagles. So we got an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman out, which may make a difference here. I mean, I'm just saying the more information you have, the better you can make your decisions. Like I said, we're gonna this show. I want to let you guys know real quick as we go out here. We're gonna have a special post-credit show here for those who are interested in seeing the playoff scenarios for our Wingman Fantasy Football League. So right now, guys, I want to thank you all for watching one more edition of a Sunday Morning Quickie. If you're interested in the playoff scenarios here, go ahead and just stay after the title screen here. But with that being said, for those who are going to leave now, may your glasses be full, your mugs stay frosty, and we will see you next time. Thank you guys for joining me for the post-credit special edition of the Sunday Morning Quickie. This one, we're going to break down our playoff opportunities for our managers in the Wingman Fantasy Football League. We're going to break this down into a couple of sections. The first one here are the managers who are playing for a chance to earn some regular season payouts. Starting off with our manager who's currently holding the number 1 seed. That's Brian's under 40. Congratulations to you, Brian. You have already clinched a division title. You have clinched a playoff berth, which means you have already earned the division winner payout. But there is one elusive accomplishment still out there for you to earn. You can earn that first number 1 seed and a first round bye, and you control your own destiny, Brian. All you have to do is win, and you will hold on to that number 1 seed. Or even if you don't win, an always right loss will have you hold on to the 1 seed. And even if you lose and always right does win, you still have a chance for that number 1 seed as long as always right does not outscore you by 23.86 points. However, you can fall to the number 2 seed. If you do lose, he does win, and he does outscore you by 23.86 points. So in terms of regular season payouts, nothing is on the line, but a first round bye is still out there to be had. On to our next manager here, Jeff's always right. Currently holding on to the number 2 seed, but that is not a lock. He is the division leader, but the thing he did lock up was a playoff berth. So congratulations to you. Jeff's always right. You are in the playoffs, but you are playing for a couple things here. You have a chance for a first round bye, and you have a chance for the division winner payout for your division. But you have a wide range of outcomes here. You can finish in first place, 4th place, 5th, or 6th seed. So let's see what's going to get you to the number 1 seed and a first round bye. To do that, you are going to have to win. Under 40 is going to have to lose, and you're going to have to outscore him by 23.86 points. That's to get the number 1 seed. But to earn a payout and win your division here, all you have to do is win or have May Daddy 2's lose. He does have the tiebreaker here, so if you lose and May Daddy 2's wins, he is going to take in the division here. So he has the tiebreaker. You are up a game with a game to play, so you have to win or have him lose, and you will get the payout for regular season here. In order to fall down for 4, 5, or 6, you'd have to lose, and May Daddy 2's would win. That would send you to 4. If you lose and you couple that May Daddy's win with a King George win, you fall down to 5. And if you lose and you have all 3 of these teams win, May Daddy 2's, King George, and Go Gators win, while Go Gators catches you by 2.8 points this week, that'll have you fall all the way down to 6 seeds. So again, you have a wide range of outcomes here, 1, 4, 5, or 6, or 2 rather, 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6. And if you get the 1 or 2 seed, you will earn a divisional payout. So you're up and you're in control your own destiny in terms of getting a payout. You'll need some help to get a first round bye. On to our next manager here. This is Bernie's Team B. He's been our point leader all season long, and he's pretty much locked into 3. However, he can finish at 3, 4, or 5. At the moment, he has clinched a playoff berth. Congratulations, Bernie. You have clinched yourself a spot into our playoffs, but there's still something you're playing for here. The point leader is not quite locked up, although it is pretty strong. All you have to do today to hold off the point leader is merely, doesn't even matter if you win or lose, honestly. You just have to hold off May Daddy 2s by 44.77 points and King George by 51.06 points. And they took our jobs by 68.05 points. So essentially, if you score anywhere around 115 points, you are a virtual lock in to get the regular season point leader payout. And if you want to hold on to that 3 seed, all you got to do is win today. Or if you lose, hold off those May Daddy 2s and King George by the points I just mentioned there earlier. All right, on to our next group here. These are players that have not clinched playoff buys yet, but they have a wide range of outcomes here and even a chance to win some money here. So let's break this one down for you. We have Corey's May Daddy 2s currently in the number 4 spot, but he can get as high as number 2. He can finish at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or even out of the playoffs. A wide range of outcomes here. He has a chance to get a payout for the division winner. He also has a chance to pay out for the point leader. To get the number 2 seed and win the division, all he has to do is win today and have an always right loss. As like I said, he's 1 game back with the tiebreaker. So a win on your end and a loss from always right will get you the regular season payout for division winner. In order to get the point leader payout, you're going to have to outscore Team B by 44.79 points and hold off King George by 6.3. Also, you're going to have to hold off They Took Our Jobs by 23.29. Hold off Go Gators by 54, Spidey by 64, and Cubert's Rage by 66. So you've got some work to do here. It's not a guarantee, but it's in your sights. If you can get around that 140 points or so, you're going to have a decent shot here. It's going to take a good game by Bernie's Team B to hold off that point leader. However, even with the point leader and the division lead in your grasp here, you have not secured a playoff spot yet. There are a way for you to miss the playoffs. First of all, you have to lose. If you win, you are in the playoffs. If you lose, there's other things that might happen here that could send you out. If you lose, 4 of these next 6 things would have to happen to knock you out. Waddle Away would have to win. King George would have to win or outscore you by 6.3 points. Go Gators would have to win or outscore you by 54.7 points, as you guys are all tied right now. So if you both lose and he outscores you, he can still pass you. Or They Took Our Jobs wins and outscores you by 23 points. Spidey wins and outscores you by 64. Cubert's Rage wins and outscores you by 66. So 4 of those 6 things happen, and coupled with your loss, you would be eliminated. So you're in pretty good shape here. It would take some players who are lower than you have to win and outscore you by a range of 23.5 to 66 points. So again, a high score for you, even with a loss today, will go a long way in securing a playoff berth for you. On to our next manager here. Katie's King George last week with 146 points was huge. Not only did she get the victory, but that was a big-time boon in terms of getting a point lead here for tiebreaker. Nonetheless, she has not secured a playoff berth yet. She is currently holding on to the 5 seed, and she can finish as high as 3 and as low as out. In order to get a playoff berth, you control your own destiny, Katie. All you got to do is win, and you're in. And there is a slim chance for you to miss the playoffs, very similar to Corey May Daddy 2s. He'll start off with you with a loss today. And couple that with 4 of the next 6 things would have to happen for you to miss the playoffs. Again, very similar to May Daddy 2's situation here. If you couple any of these 4 of 6 with your loss, Waddle Away win, a May Daddy 2's win, or if you don't outscore him by over 6.5 points, a Go Gators win, or he outscores you by 4, you're in good shape with points, or he outscores you by 40, almost 49 points. They Took Our Jobs would have to win and outscore you by 17. Spidey would have to win. You're playing each other, so if he wins, you lose, and have to outscore you by almost 58 points. And Cubert's Rage would have to win and outscore you by 60 points. So again, 4 of those 6 would have to happen for you to miss. So you're in pretty good shape here as well. As the only way you would miss is with a loss, and you'd have to be outscored by a combination of anywhere between 17 to 60 points. But again, multiple things have to happen in that matrix there for you. All right, now for players again who are looking like they're in the playoffs, but need control their own destiny, but have not guaranteed anything. Ben's Go Gators, you're currently at the number 6 seed. You can finish as high as number 4 or as low as out. However, you control your own destiny, Ben. You win today and you are in. But you do have a chance to miss if you lose and 3 of these 6 things happen. May Daddy 2's wins or you don't outscore him by 55 points. King George wins and you don't outscore her by 49 points. They Took Our Jobs wins and you don't outscore him by 32 points. Spidey wins and you don't and he outscores you by 9.5 points. Or Cubit's Rage wins and he outscores you by 12 points. So you're not in the best shape in terms of point tiebreaker, but again, you control your own destiny with that win. And even if you lose, you're going to need 3 players out there to win and even outscore you or hold you off, depending on where they are in the point tiebreaker. Our next player here, holding on to the last playoff spot at a 7-5 record as well. This is Nick's Waddle away. He is our second lowest point scorer for the year. So pretty much he has one of 2 ways to go here. Although he has a range of outcomes, he can finish anywhere between 4 and out of the playoffs. But again, with 7 wins, if you get to 8, you clinch a playoff berth. So if he wins today, he is in. He's playing against Ben's Go Gators. So one of those teams is going to be in today, as we have a pair of 7 and 5 teams playing each other. Although he can miss the playoffs, if he loses, and only one of these 5 things happens. So again, these points are really bad here. He will be out of the playoffs if he loses and one of They Took Our Jobs wins, Spidey wins, Cubert Rage wins, Crazy Fish wins, and you don't outscore him by 43 points, or the Fantastic wins and you don't outscore him by 26 points. So essentially, you need some help. Or you just win and you're in, like I said. So you control your own destiny, but if you lose, you're on the dicey end here, as any one of those 6 and 7 teams can get a win today, and they are ahead of you in points they're all ahead of you in points. All right, on to our players who need a lot more help here. These are our guys on the outside looking in at the moment. We have Alex's They Took Our Jobs at 6 and 7, but he's really high in points at 1254 or so. So he's in good shape in points. The only way for him to get in, he's going to need a win and get help. He's going to need 5 of these 8 things to happen, coupled with his win, to get in. He's going to need May Daddy 2's to lose, or lose and outscore him by 13.5 points. King George to lose and outscore her by 17 points. Go Gators to lose and not be outscored by him by 32 points. If Waddle Away loses, that's one of these 5 things, as the points are not an issue here. He's going to need Spidey to lose and hold him off by almost 41 points. Cubert's Rage to lose, hold him off by 43 points. Crazy Fish to lose, hold him off by 55.5. And Fantastics to lose and hold him off by 82.17. So with him getting a win here, even if Fantastics wins, as long as he doesn't get outscored, as long as Fantastics doesn't outscore They Took Our Jobs by 83 points, that is a check mark there. So some of these, he doesn't need these guys to lose. He can merely just have them have a lower scoring game. And honestly, They Took Our Jobs is off to a great start with Jahmyr Gibbs on Thursday night getting 33 points, which means it's going to be even harder for these teams that are hoping for a tie at best to outscore him. However, if he loses, he is out. That's all it's going to take for him to miss the playoffs, as a 6-win team cannot make our playoffs today. But and even if he does win, he's going to need some help, or he's going to be out as well. On to our next player looking to fight their way in and is going to need a lot of help. This is Michael's Amazing Spidey. Yours truly also at 6 and 7. In the middle of the pack in points. He's going to need to win to get in. He's going to need to win and help to get in. If he loses, he is out. Similar to They Took Our Jobs, he's going to need a win coupled with 6 of these 8 scenarios to happen. He's going to need May Daddy 2's to lose, and he's going to have to catch him by 64 points. He's going to have to outscore King George by 58 points. They're playing each other, so if he wins, that's going to take care of the loss. But in terms of tiebreaker, not in good shape. He's not going to get the tiebreaker on Corey's May Daddy 2's or King George, most likely. Now, this one he can catch here. If Go Gators loses and he can outscore him by 9.5 points, that is huge. Or Waddle Away loss here. That's the person that he's already ahead of. So honestly, he wants Waddle Away to lose, because that's one less person, because he can beat him in the tiebreaker a lot easier than Go Gators, for example. They Took Our Jobs, he would need to lose or outscore They Took Our Jobs by 31 points. He would also need Cubert's Rage to lose, or he can hold him off by 2 points. They are in a virtual tie. He could get in with one of these scenarios as Crazy Fish losing and holding him off by almost 15 points, and Fantastic's loss and holding him off by 41.5 points. Again, 6 of these 8 things need to happen, and 2 of them are not, because he's not going to outscore May Daddy 2s by 65, and he's not going to outscore King George by 60. So essentially, he's got one narrow path to get in. And a friendly reminder here, if Amazing Spidey loses, he is out. On to our next person, who's also 6 and 7, Paul's Cubert Rage. Very similar to Amazing Spidey, as they're only separated by 2 points and have the same record. Paul, if you want to get in, you're going to have to win and need help. If you lose, you are out. It's all the same thing here. You have to win and have May Daddy lose and catch him by 66 points. Very unlikely. King George would have to lose, and you have to catch her by 60 points. Again, unlikely. So you have a very similar path to Amazing Spidey. As you're hoping for a Waddle away loss, you're hoping for an Alex's They Took Our Job loss, but if he does win, you've got to outscore him by 33 points. And if Amazing Spidey wins, all you got to do is outscore him by 2.5 points, obviously coupled with your victory. If you win and Crazy Fish wins, you have to just not be outscored by 12.5 points, or if Crazy Fish loses, he's automatically out. Similar to Fantastics, even if Fantastics wins and you win, you just have to not be outscored by almost 40 points. So you've got a very narrow path. A couple of those things are more likely to happen than others, but some of those are not likely at all. Again, especially with Alex, They Took Our Jobs with that hot start. All of our 6 and 7 teams are aiming for They Took Our Jobs to lose today, or if he does win, we've got to have monster days and outscore him by 40 points or so. Our next player here is Andrew's Crazy Fish. Similar to the other two, he's a little further down in points, but it needs the same kind of situation here. He's playing May Daddy 2s today, so if he wins, he's going to get the loss there for May Daddy 2s. But again, for Crazy Fish, you lose today, you are out. But if you win, you're going to need a few things to happen. You need 6 of these next 8 things to happen. You're going to have to outscore May Daddy 2s by 80 points. That one's not happening. You're going to have to outscore King George after she gets a loss by 72 points. That's not happening. You're going to need Gators to lose and outscore him by 24 points. Possible. You're going to need Waddle away to lose, and you can hold him off as you have more points than him. That is more likely in the scenario here. You're going to need They Took Our Jobs to lose, or you're going to have to outscore him by 56 points. Again, all these 6 and 7 teams that are hoping to get in are really need They Took Our Jobs to lose, as he is well ahead in the tiebreaker points of those 6 and 7 teams. Again, you're going to need Crazy Fish. You'll need Spidey to lose or outscore him by 15 points. Cubert's Rage to lose or outscore him by 13 points. Again, all these coupled with your win. You're going to have to win to even have a chance. And then Fantastics to lose, or you hold him off by 27 points. Our last team that has a chance to make the playoffs here is Ken's the Fantastics, and he has the slimmest path to get in. He can, again, a loss and he is out, and he's going to need a win and some help to get in. He's going to need 5 of these next 6 things to happen, and one of them can't because Go Gators is playing against Waddle away, so that victory is taken, although the points would still be there. Whoever loses, he still has a chance to catch the loser in the tiebreaker with points. So you really want Waddle away to lose this, as he's only 26 points. You're ahead of him by 26 points, as opposed to having to catch Go Gators by 51. So Ken's the Fantastics. You are rooting for They Took Our Jobs to lose because you are way back in points. You're rooting for Waddle away to win because you're ahead of him in points. And you're really rooting for Spidey, Cubert's Rage, and Crazy Fish to lose because you're behind all these guys in points of a range from 27 to 42. So you can catch these guys if they do win, but essentially you need all the 6 and 7 teams to lose. You need Waddle away to win, and that's pretty much the best way for you to get in here, coupled with your victory. Again, so all of our 6 and 7 teams are looking for all the other 6 and 7 teams to lose, except for Alex's They Took Our Jobs, who's in good shape with the points. He can handle multiple other 6 and 7 teams winning, and he has a chance to get in. Reminder here that there will be one 7 and 7 team at least that will make the playoffs here. So as long as They Took Our Jobs can win and Waddle away loses, They Took Our Jobs is gonna like a 98% chance of making the playoffs. So good luck to you guys out there. Thanks for sticking around for this special edition of our Sunday Morning Quickie post-credit edition. With that being said, good luck to you guys. And we're going to say one more time, may your glasses be full, your mug stay frosty, and we will see you in the playoffs. I hope so. All right, guys. See you next time.